Hello, everybody. Welcome to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Ooh, that was rough. My name is Samantha Genzer, and I am going to be your host for today. We have a very exciting episode for you guys. We're going to be covering the HYROX World Championships, USWNT official roster predictions, the golfers competing in the Olympics, the softball team rosters for the second series of the AUX, and make sure you stay till the end of the show to hear about the past and current student athletes competing in the track and field Olympic trials. Before we begin, I wanted to remind you guys to like and subscribe to the show and to become a part of our show to tip and donate using the link gsmcpodcast.net. This link also puts your questions and comments at the top of the list so that I see them when they get read on the air. So if you want to have that interactive sort of aspect of this podcast, use the link to get your questions at the top of the list so that I can see them and read them, and it will be super fun and nice. Also, really helps the show. We really do appreciate it. Okay, so now that that's out of the way, let's get started. I hope you guys enjoy today's content. Okay, I'm just making sure that everything is set right now because, okay, there we go. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we are streaming because my computer was glitching. So that would be bad if I was just talking to myself. Anyway, so we're starting our show off today talking about the HYROX World Championships, which took place from June 7th to the 9th in France. We're taking a little bit of a break from the CrossFit Games. We talk about CrossFit a lot on this channel, and I love talking about the games. But there is a little bit of a gap actually before the games take place, as they're taking place in August. So instead, I wanted to recap a different CrossFit competition that is still very important. It had some great and intense competition. So here's a little background information about this competition. This competition is pretty new. Not really, but it kind of is. And it's been increasing in popularity a lot. So if you've heard of it, great. If you haven't, great. This is your chance to learn about it. So HYROX is a unique fitness competition that combines running and functional workouts to test participants' endurance, strength, and overall fitness, just like your normal CrossFit competition. Although this one does have a bit more focus on cardio, and you'll see. So HYROX competitions are divided into several categories to accommodate different fitness levels and formats. The pro singles category is where athletes compete individually, and it's just an entire different race format on their own. And then the doubles category, two athletes compete together, running together, but splitting the functional workout stations between them. In the mixed relay category, it's teams of 4 athletes, and each member completes 2 1-kilometer run and 2 functional workout stations. And then lastly, there's an age group category that's pretty self-explanatory. So each HYROX race consists of 8 1-kilometer runs interspersed with 8 functional workout stations. Okay, so here is the sequence. It goes 1-kilometer run to 1,000-meter ski erg, 1-kilometer run to 50-meter sled push, 1-kilometer run to 50-meter sled pull. You have that run again, 80-meter burpee, broad jumps, and then to the run, 1,000-meter row, 1-kilometer run, 200-meter farmer's carry, 1-kilometer run, 100-meter sandbag lunges, then to the run, and then lastly 75 wall balls. And it's 100 wall balls for men, but 75 for women. This is very CrossFit-like. I mean, it literally is CrossFit. But compared to the CrossFit semifinals workouts, the HYROX race is more cardio focused, at least it seems like with these different intervals. So here is how the competition actually works. Athletes start by participating in local HYROX events held in cities around the world. These events are open to everyone and serve as the initial qualifying rounds. Next is the regional qualifications, where top performers from the local events advance and compete in this narrow field. Next is the World Championship qualifications, where the top athletes from regional qualifications earn their spot at the HYROX World Championships. Qualification is based on time and overall performance in the regional events. Lastly is the Elite 15. This is the top 15 men and top 15 women worldwide based on their times and performance throughout the season. They compete in the Elite 15 at the World Championships. So this is not really a separate competition. It is part of the World Championships. So now let's talk about the results from the championships. So we're going to talk about the Elite 15 race in the women's because this is a women's sports podcast. Okay, so In the women's elite 15 race, Megan Jacoby demonstrated her dominance from the third station onwards, securing first place in every remaining station and finishing nearly 4 minutes ahead of her closest competitor, Lauren Weeks. Jacoby's comprehensive victory was a testament to her strategic racing and endurance background. She ended with a time of 59 minutes and 59 seconds, which is so impressive that she was able to get below an hour, unlike the rest of her competitors. Jacoby said, "I raced a tactically smart race. I come from running and endurance, and I feel like that having that experience has helped me in the sport significantly. I know how to run. I know what I should be doing. I know how it should feel. Having my daughter here was super emotional for me. I spent a few weeks over in Europe trying to get acclimated and focus on training, so I hadn't seen her for a few weeks. It was also my birthday on Wednesday, so the HYROX World Champion title comes as the cherry on top." So she really did have the perfect win. Her daughter was here, and it was her birthday. So in second was Weeks at 1 hour 37 minutes. And Vivian Tafuto finished right behind her at 1 hour 3 minutes 44 seconds. Jeez. And even close to that was the fourth place finisher, Viola Oberlander, at 1 hour 3 minutes 45 seconds. Literally 1 second apart, but we'll get into that. So Weeks is a 3-time champion and has had over a year of postpartum training. She actually set a new world record at an astonishing 58 minutes 6 seconds in March at the Vienna Major. Weeks has a polarizing race style, bursting into a brutal space and daring her opponents to come with her. In recent races, she has shown a bit more restraint in the very early portions of the race, and her results have yielded a European and North American champion title. She also recently set the world record in Decafit. It definitely was not shocking to see her finish in second. It was shocking that she didn't finish in first, but then again, she recently had a child. It makes sense that she was in second. Tafuto has a streak of finishing fourth, so seeing her finish third was a huge improvement. She's a former D1 swimmer and has an extra year running training under her belt, which really helped her in the competition. She also is one of the strongest athletes on the ergs and sleds, and she particularly stood out in those events. Oberlander is a seasoned athlete when it comes to World Championships events. The 2020 runner-up has been in the fold for several seasons, and 2024 is no exception. She has been in podium contention for most of the majors this season. She's very aggressive in the early stages of the race and pushes the sled as well as any athlete that will toe the line, sometimes to her detriment though. She definitely performed well in that sled, but was still unable to make it in the top 3. You have to consider her time though, because she literally was 1 second right after the third place finisher, so that just goes to show that how she was really could have been in the top 3 with very minor adjustments or improvements. Lasting fifth was Linda Meyer with a time of 1 hour 3 minutes 57 seconds. She actually was a favorite to win the 2022 World Championships, but ended up letting it slip through her hands while finishing second that year. She has shown big race potential, and she showed that this year, really. She set the world record in early 2023 before experiencing injuries and setbacks towards the second half of the season. She had a disappointing end to 2023, but was very eager and hungry to get back out there for this season. She just was not able to make the podium at this competition, and without those previous injuries, I think she would have had a better chance to podium. But still, she was very close and still did absolutely amazing and showed her natural strength. Now, moving on to a completely different category. In the pro women's category, we had Seka Arning in first place at 1 hour, 1 minute, and 53 seconds. Jade Skillen in second at 1 hour, 4 minutes, 19 seconds. And Lucy Proctor in third at 1 hour, 4 minutes, 46 seconds. As you can see, there is a huge gap between the first and second place finishers in this category. Arning's performance in the wall ball segment was actually slower than her average, according to her coach. But even though this wasn't her best segment, it still did not affect her too much, as she was able to come out on top by a huge margin. One really notable thing about Arning's performance is her pacing strategies. She's a very skilled runner. She maintains a steady pace in early running segments that conserves her energy for strength-based challenges, and just already having that natural speed puts her at an advantage from her competitors. She did really well in the running faster in each of her segments, which really set her apart from the competitors and put her at a much quicker time. Like, she was really able to increase her speed little by little in each segment. I really recommend following Skillen on Instagram because her page is very inspiring and so impressive. So if you're someone who likes to watch fitness coaches or trainers online, I recommend checking her page out. I think what helped her a lot in this competition was her transition efficiency and pacing strategies. Skillen could have started at a slightly faster pace in the beginning of the race to knock off some seconds, but then again, I think pacing herself like she did was the best thing for her, because she could have ended up exhausting herself for the strength events if she ended up trying to go too fast in the beginning. I was really impressed by her. She has a great blend of strength and speed, and you could really tell that in the competition. Lastly, moving on to a different category, two-time obstacle course world champion Ida Mathilde Stensgaard was representing Denmark in the first ever elite mixed relay world championship. You can already guess how competitive this competition is. This was the first one, so it was extremely big headlines. So the 33-year-old was able to utilize the strength and speeds required for OCR to help the Danish team secure 10th. Stensgaard had just missed qualifying for the Elite 15 in the season, but decided to use the relay event as a chance to get some speed training and before she sets off to defend her title at the OCR European Championship. So this is kind of like her precursor to that. Speaking before the race, she said, "One of the reasons behind HYROX's growth is that you can compete no matter what. It's just going to depend on how fast you can go. There are other sports like CrossFit or OCR where you need a specific skill set to be able to complete the competition or the workout. In HYROX, most people will be able to do the course. It also includes more running, and I love running. Combining running and strength training just gives you an all-around good physique and athleticism. Training never gets boring. I think you'll see me in HYROX more. In OCR, I've won a lot now. I have a lot of defending titles, so the feeling of really wanting to win is harder to achieve." So we're now going to move on to our next segment where we talk about predictions for the USWNT Olympic roster. Before we get into that, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. So we just got done recapping the HYROX World Championships, and now we are going to be talking about soccer. And we are going to talk about predictions for the official USWNT for the Olympics. This is my favorite segment today, I think. I love talking about soccer, and always talking about roster predictions goes either really good for me or really bad. And I'm hoping this goes good for me, although I think that these are solid predictions, not gonna lie. But I am biased because they are my predictions. So anyway, Emma Hayes is a few weeks into her official tenure as head coach of the U.S. Women's National Team, and she already has a pivotal decision to make. She must narrow a talented pool down to an 18-player roster for the Paris Olympics, where the Americans hope to win a gold medal for the first time since 2012 and move on from last year's World Cup failure. No pressure, right? It is much harder to choose an Olympic roster than a World Cup roster, in my opinion, since there are 5 fewer players for the Olympics and only 2 rest days between games. So you have to think a lot about endurance. There's so much to think about if you are a coach and you are picking a roster. The tournament, though smaller than a World Cup, is grueling, and major questions loom as Hayes readies to name her official roster in the coming weeks. The need for versatility on a small roster is obvious. Can a defender play center back and fullback? Is a talented attacking player capable of performing on the wing or as a striker, or maybe even a number 10 midfielder in a pinch? It gets more complicated to think of an entire 18-player roster within the tactics that Hayes hopes to implement, all while gaming out the worst-case scenarios for injuries and replacements. Hayes has officially been in charge of the USWNT for only 2 games, and she's a bold coach, so she could have some surprises in store, and I would not be shocked if she does. But here is my predictions for the 18-player roster for the Olympics, plus 4 alternates. And one thing about the alternates, too, is that's also super tricky because you have to think about, is this player able to play more than one position? You know, and one of the alternates has to be a goalkeeper, so it's like, I don't know. Because you also want a goalkeeper that can play the field at the same time. But can you actually achieve that? I don't know. So, there's so much to think about with this. I'm excited to see if there's going to be any surprises for this, but here are the predictions for what I think the official roster could look like. For goalkeepers, I am predicting that Alyssa Naher and Casey Murphy will be the goalkeepers on the team. I've talked about Naher multiple times on my show, and without a doubt, she is my favorite goalkeeper in the NWSL. I played soccer for 15-ish years, and I was a goalkeeper for the entire time. And let me just say, I've always been a fan of Naher, more like ever since she was on the NWSL, whenever she started playing for them. But regardless, she is the best goalkeeper, in my opinion, in the league because of her versatility and confidence. She missed the most recent USWNT training camp because of a thigh injury, but she was back in net for the Chicago Red Stars on Saturday at Wrigley Field. She's been the clear number 1 for over 5 years. Her ability to do the spectacular was reinforced in a pair of penalty shootout victories earlier this year. In each, she stopped 3 kicks and scored 1 of her own. So, that's insane. She routinely makes unbelievable saves, and she is by far the most experienced goalkeeper in the pool. On the other hand, Casey Murphy is the number 2 pick, but here's the thing. Jane Campbell has the edge on Murphy in some advanced metrics in NWSL play, like post-shot expected goals minus goals, which suggests superior shot stopping. But still, I think Murphy has proved she is a stronger pick. Like last year in the NWSL, she collected 9 clean sheets. In this season, she has already had 5 clean sheets. I think she shows consistency and dominance in the NWSL, and that will help her maybe get this number 2 pick. And I will be bringing up Jane Campbell later, so don't worry about that. For defenders, we got Naomi Girma, Tierna Davidson, Jenna Neiswanger, Crystal Dunn, Emily Fox, and Emily Sonnet. Girma might be the first name on the... Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, I kept clicking to switch the slides here, but it was not working. It was really making me mad. Okay. I'm out of breath from talking. It's actually so sad. I'm how unathletic am I? Okay, so Girma might be the first name on the roster and starting 11. She was the best and most consistent player for the USWNT at last year's World Cup. And she continues to prove she is the best defender in the pool each time she plays for club and country. She can defend the top forwards in the world and, importantly, generate attacks on the dribble or with precise passing. Her progressive ball from a high area set up the opening goal of the USWNT's first friendly against South Korea. Davidson's omission from last year's World Cup roster was a product of bad timing, as she recovered from a torn ACL in 2022, and the Chicago Red Stars struggled through a wretched NWSL season. Davidson is back in form now and is clearly the preferred central partner alongside Girma. Her left foot is a unique asset, and like Girma, she can set plays with a unique vision. Expect Girma and Davidson to carry the entire Olympic load at center back, barring injuries. Okay, that's so biased, but low-key, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, no player has improved her stock more over the past 8 months than Neiswanger. She earned her first call up in November right after winning NWSL Rookie of the Year and a league title, and she has thrived as the left fullback asked to effectively play as a winger when the team is in possession. Her assist to Crystal Dunn in the USWNT's most recent match reiterated why her left foot is such an asset on that wing. She perfectly fits the profile of a Hayes fullback, and she can play as a more conservative third center back when the system gets changed. Now, like Niswonger, Fox is an attacking fullback with the pace to get up and down the wing and the defensive abilities to hold her own in several different roles. There was and remains an expectation on Fox to be a long-term solution at fullback. She is easily part of this 18-player squad. The question is whether she starts on her usual right side. For midfielders, I have Lindsay Huron, Rose Lavelle, Sam Coffey, Katarina Marcario, and Corbin Albert. Huron best fits into the USWNT's combination of midfielders as a box-to-box number 8 midfielder who complements her more defensive and attack-minded central partners. She's clearly, I'm trying to sit myself up. Give me a second. Okay, so she's clearly someone Hayes will lean on to lead the team on and off the field. Lavelle remains arguably the most creative player in the USWNT's pool. Katarina Marcario and Jaden Shaw make strong challenges to that claim, but Lavelle has done it for longer and continues to produce moments of pure magic. She is exceptional on the ball and might be the USWNT's best option at the number 10 playmaker position. The never-ending question of how to solve the USWNT's defensive midfield hole appears to be solved. With this, Coffey is the obvious answer. Coffey is a superior ball distributor who keeps cool under pressure. Defensively, she is physical and intelligent when she needs to execute some subtle dark arts, but she isn't a wrecking ball type of defensive midfielder. Hayes will lean on Coffey heavily as the only true number 6 on this roster, which impacts several other decisions in the 18. There is no denying that Hayes has special insight into Marcario's game and trajectory. Hayes signed the attacking midfielder at Chelsea last year and then oversaw Marcario's return to the field earlier this year. During the 6 months of Hayes' double duty as a Chelsea coach and impending USWNT coach. Marcario returned to the number 10 role for the USWNT recently in a friendly against South Korea, and I think she did very well. Also, Albert had a strong showing in her start against South Korea on June 4th. She is reliable as a number 8, a number 10 if needed, or another defensive midfielder and a double pivot. She gives Hayes in-game options without needing to make a substitute. The potentially controversial part of Albert's inclusion would be how she fits into the team's chemistry following the recent uproar around her social media activity, which drew condemnation from several USWNT players, past and present. Even though Albert did apologize for it, we're not going to get into it, but she did end up apologizing, but still, it happened, what she did, so, yeah. Anyway, Albert's inclusion in midfield would come at the expense of 16-year-old Lily Johannes, 18-year-old Olivia Moultrie, and even the more experienced Andy Sullivan, all of whom have fewer looks in Hayes' new system, so that's also interesting to consider. Okay, so for forwards, and someone commented that they love Alex Morgan. Okay, well, here we're going to talk about Alex Morgan, and I'm a huge fan of Alex Morgan. Okay, so for forwards, we have Mallory Swanson, Trinity Rodman, Jaden Shaw, and Alex Morgan. Okay, Swanson is nearing a return to her world-beating self of early 2023 before an injury ended her World Cup dreams. That is good news for the USWNT and makes her an easy conclusion on this roster. She is likely to be one of the team's starting wingers, and she even saw a few minutes in the number 9 role in recent friendlies. Her ability to interchange with teammates makes her hard to track, and her talents are unique. A healthy Swanson is a problem for opposing defenses. Mallory Swanson was the USWNT's best attacking player until her injury last year, right before the World Cup. At the time of her injury, she was on a 6-game scoring streak. Now she's getting back to where she left off. So, it is a bit iffy, but, if we see her improve recently, I guess more chances of her being the forward on the team. Rodman is the only player to have played in every USWNT game since the start of 2023. Nothing more really needs to be said. Rodman is the best two-way winger the team has, in my opinion. She terrorizes defenses with her creativity on the ball, and she defends tirelessly on the wings, tracking back to cover for fullbacks and prevent opponents from transitioning. So, she has that double threat. And then Smith is a lock to be on the roster and is likely to be on the team's first option up top as striker as well. It is her best position, and she is especially effective with it, with Swanson and Rodman playing beside her especially. Granted, the trio entered the game together at the end of the match against a tired opponent, but look at how the USWNT's attack came alive in the second friendly against South Korea when these three played off each other. Smith bagged an impressive goal moments after entering the match. Her recent play with the Portland Thorns shows that she can be effective in wide areas also. So the most effective, talented young player in the USWNT pool and in the NWSL as well, I would say, is Shaw. Figuring out where to play her is the biggest question, though. She has thrived for the USWNT and San Diego Wave and Central areas, but she has often had to settle for an inverted winger role based on those around her. That flexibility adds to her case to be included in this roster. Scoring in 5 straight games earlier this year didn't hurt either, and the question then becomes how to best utilize her. No roster topic has demanded more conversation over the past 2 years than the status of striker Alex Morgan. Morgan bucks the USWNT's trend of versatility as an out-and-out number 9, but she has several things in her favor. Hayes has lauded Morgan's leadership on several occasions and stressed the need for veterans in the locker room. Morgan is easily the most capped player left in the mix, one with 2 World Cup titles and the last remaining player from the 2012 gold medal team. On the field, her ability to hold up the ball, control play, and endure physicality from opposing defenses to win free kicks in dangerous areas makes her stand out as a lone striker. Morgan led the counterattack to spark Dunn's opening goal in the team's most recent friendly. I am a huge fan of Alex Morgan, and I swear I better see her on that team. Now, unlike the World Cups, the Olympic Games feature 4 so-called alternates who can be added to the roster in the event of a tournament-ending injury to a player. One of the 4 must be a goalkeeper, so here's a prediction as to who Hayes would choose for these 4 alternate spots. At least who I would choose maybe would be more accurate. Casey Kruger, Lily Johannes, Olivia Moultrie, and Jane Campo. Johannes is probably the most fascinating of the group. At 16 and having just played her first international match, including her on a roster like this could be risky. Having Johannes in the Olympic environment would be the perfect precursor to the 2027 World Cup. And then Kruger can serve as the alternate to replace anyone across the back line, and Moultrie has the right mix of currently available talent, potential, and familiarity with the system. And then Campo looks like the clear third goalkeeper too, and I think she does have more potential on the field as well compared to some other goalkeepers that we've seen. So that concludes the segment on the predictions for the USWNT roster, and now we're going to move on to the next segment and talk about the golfers competing in the Olympics. Before we begin, we are going to be taking a short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about predictions for the USWNT roster for the Olympics, and now we're going to talk about the golfers competing in the Olympics. During Friday's episode, we talked about the golfers already qualified in the teams USA, France, Japan, Australia, Great Britain, Thailand, Sweden, and Canada. And I recommend checking that out. And now we're going to talk about golfers in other countries' teams. Still, no country has 4 players in the top 15. And what that means is that the top 15 players in the world are eligible for Paris, with a limit of 4 players from any given country. So keep that in mind. The US has 3 players still. That is literally the only team that I can think of on the top of my head that has 3 players as of right now. But yeah, so no team has 4, which it'll get interesting once some teams do. So before we dive into all this, I want to remind you guys to like and follow the show and to become a part of our show to tip and donate using the link gsmcpodcast.net. Also, we get a lot of questions and comments that come from viewers during this show, so to ensure that your questions and comments get read on the air, use the link gsmcpodcast.net to put your questions at the top of the list. Also, I wanted to remind you guys to stay to the end of the show to hear about the past and current student athletes competing in the track and field Olympics and Olympic trials. So now that we got that out of the way, it is time to go ahead and talk about the golfers on the South Korea team. Okay, and I already am apologizing for pronouncing names incorrectly. Y'all know I'm so bad with names. It is a problem. Okay, Jin-Young Ko and Hyo-Jo Kim will be competing in the Olympics for South Korea. Jin-Young Ko's main strength are her incredible consistency in iron play, complemented by a strong mental game. She has shown an exceptional ability to stay calm under high pressure, which is crucial in high-stakes tournaments like the Olympics. However, occasionally her putting can be less consistent compared to other aspects of her game, which might impact her performance on unfamiliar greens, so that is something that she will need to pay attention to. In the past, Ko's track record includes multiple major championships, and she was a strong contender in the 2020 Olympics, finishing the top 10. She also held the #1 spot in the women's world golf rankings multiple times, underscoring her consistent performances across seasons. Given her current form and past experiences, she is a strong candidate for a medal, potentially even a gold, if she maintains her usual level of play and manages to improve her putting. But compared to the other competition, I don't think that we will see her get gold, but I'm just saying that she does have a fierce competition for medaling, possibly. Hyo-Jo Kim excels in driving accuracy and has a very refined short game, both of which are essential on the potentially challenging Olympic course layout. Kim's performance can sometimes be variable in windy conditions, which could pose a challenge depending on the weather in the Olympics. Her 25th place finish in the 2016 Olympics was solid, and she has since improved significantly, demonstrated by consistent top finishes on the LPGA Tour. She is likely to improve on her previous Olympic performance with a strong possibility of a top 10 finish, and if conditions favor her, a medal is within reach, but I see her more in the top 10. For Spain, we have Carlota Ciganda and Azahara Munoz. Ciganda is known for her powerful driving and resilience on the course. Her experience on both the European and LPGA tours gives her a tactical edge. Consistency can sometimes be an issue for Carlota, particularly in her short game, with a 39th place finish in the 2016 Olympics. Ciganda has room for improvement. Her performance in recent international tournaments suggests she has been working on these areas, though. If she can harness her driving accuracy and manage her short game, a top 20 finish is likely, with a higher place impossible if she plays to her strength. Munoz shines with her iron play and putting, crucial for the precision required at the Olympic level. Her driving distance is not as competitive, which might disadvantage her on longer holes. She's shown she can compete, with the best evidenced by several top 10 finishes on the LPGA Tour, though her Olympic experience was less remarkable, to be honest. Improvement is expected from her previous Olympic outing, and a midfield finish is probable, with potential surprises if her short game does excel. On the Ireland team, we will see Leona Maguire and Stephanie Meadow. Maguire's main strength included her exceptional course management skills and ability to perform under pressure, as seen in her collegiate and professional victories. Experience in major tournaments is less extensive compared to her peers, which could be a factor in high-pressure scenarios. A solid Olympic debut and recent victories on the LPGA Tour have shown she has what it takes to compete at the highest level. Maguire could be a dark horse for a medal, especially if she leverages her strategic play and mental toughness. Meadow is known for her accuracy off the tee and strong putting skills. Her performance in windy conditions and on particularly long courses can be challenging due to her relatively shorter driving distance. Her bronze medal in the 2016 Olympics demonstrates her capability to rise into the occasion. Another strong performance is expected, with potential for a top 10 finish if she plays to her strengths, but I do have more confidence in Maguire. For South Africa, Ashley Buhai and Paula Rita will be on the team. Buhai's strength lies in her consistency and experience, having competed professionally since her teens. Now, she occasionally does struggle with putting under pressure, which could impact her scores in crucial rounds. Victory at the Women's British Open showcased her ability to compete against the best, though she lacks Olympic experience. As a newcomer to the Olympics, she could face challenges, but a top 25 finish would be a respectable outcome. I have more hope that she could finish in the top 10, though. Rito's aggressive play can be an advantage on scoring holes, particularly with her strong approach shots. Consistency has been a challenge, though, with fluctuations in her performance from tournament to tournament. Limited impact in her previous Olympic spirits, but she has shown improvement on the LPGA Tour. Bettering her previous Olympic performance is likely with a middle-of-the-pack finish expected. On the Germany team, we have Alexandra Fosterling and Esther Henselit. Fosterling, an amateur standout before turning professional, is known for her precise iron play and a steady mental approach, both crucial for navigating the pressures of Olympic competition. As a newer professional, her experience in top-level international competitions is limited, which might affect her performance under Olympic pressure. Fosterling has had a strong showings in collegiate amateur competitions, and her transition to professional events has been marked by promising performances. Given her lack of experience at this level, expectations might be moderate. And not really lack of experience, but lack of experience compared to the other competitors. However, her technical skills could lead to a surprising upper midfield finish if she depends quickly on the Olympic environment. Esther Henselit has a well-rounded game, particularly strong finishing abilities on the greens. Her win at the Ladies European Tour's Order of Merit in her rookie year highlighted her potential. Now, inconsistencies in her long game can sometimes put her at a disadvantage in more challenging courses. She has shown she can compete with the best, though her exposure to the pressure of Olympic-style events is still untested. Her strong competitive spirit and good form might well see her achieving a solid top 20 finish. For the Mexico team, we have Gabby Lopez and Maria Fassi. Lopez is celebrated for her resilience and clutch putting. Her performance in major tournaments, including a win at the 2020 Diamond Resorts Tournament of Champions, demonstrates her ability to handle pressure. However, occasionally her driving accuracy can falter, which could pose a problem on courses that punish off-target tee shots. Lopez finished 31st in the 2016 Olympics and has since matured significantly as a player with consistent performances on the LPGA Tour. With improved consistency and experience, Lopez is poised for a top 15 finish, and her knack for rise to the occasion might even push her toward a top 10, but I do see her more in the top 15. Maria Fassi is known for her extraordinary driving distance, and she brings excitement to the course, which could be an advantage on longer Olympic layouts. Her aggressive style sometimes leads to her higher scores on the complex holes if her risk-taking doesn't pay off. While relatively new to the professional scene, Fassi's collegiate career was stellar, marked by winning the NCAA Individual Championships. If Fassi manages her game wisely, she could finish well. Expect her to potentially land in the top 25. For the Netherlands, Anne van Dam and Dewey Weber will be on the team. Van Dam is arguably one of the longest hitters on the European Tour, which gives her a considerable edge on longer courses. Her short game and putting can be less consistent, sometimes negating the advantage gained from her long drives. While not yet a major contender in LPGA events, her performances in Europe have shown she has the talent to compete at a high level. If she can leverage her driving strength and improve her short game, a top 20 finish is possible. Weber has demonstrated solid play on the Symetra Tour with a good balance between her driving and putting. Experience at the highest level is limited, which might be a factor in the pressure-filled Olympic setting. While still seeking a breakthrough moment, Weber's steady play in smaller tours suggests potential. Competing in her first Olympics, a finish in the top 20 would be a respectable outcome, providing valuable experience for future competitions. But I do have a lot more hope that she could maybe be in the top 15, perhaps. Lastly, for Singapore, we will see Shannon Tan on the team. As a newcomer to international competition, Tan's strengths are yet to be showcased on the world stage, but her qualification indicates capability and fundamental golf skills. Lack of experience in top-tier international competitions could be challenging, especially in an event as prestigious as the Olympics. Participating primarily in regional tournaments, her Olympic debut will be her introduction to global competition. The experience will be crucial for her development. A finish in the lower rankings is likely, but the exposure and experience will be invaluable. So we're now going to move on to the next segment where we talk about the roster for the AUX second series. But before we begin, we are going to be taking a very, very short break. So I will see you guys very soon.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Hi guys. Okay, so I'm having current technical difficulties with my light on my oh my goodness, it's so annoying. Okay. Oh wait, I have a charger right here. I'm so sorry, guys. This is very inconvenient right now. Just realized I had a charger, so we can actually, I think that it was losing battery. Okay, there we go. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I promise I'm not like that much of a mess. Just sometimes I do. So anyway, welcome back to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about golfers competing in the Olympics, and now we're going to talk about the softball team rosters for the AUX series, the second series, sorry. Okay, so this is the 2024 Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball AUX. Leading the pack, designated player Jocelyn Alo captains the gold team into Series 2 after securing a league-high 520 leaderboard points in her first AU Pro Softball Series. Taylor Edwards, with 480 leadership points, leaderboard points, takes the helm of the Orange team. Currently third in league standings, but stepping up as captains for this series. I'm sorry, guys, I have something in my eye. Y'all, I'm seeming like a mess right now. Anyway. Meanwhile, outfielder Bubba Nichols, ranked second, is unable to serve as a captain this round due to missing the draft. Rookie outfielder McKenzie Clark rounds out our captains, taking charge of the blue team after an impressive fourth-place finish with 470 points. And this league is different than like your stereotypical professional, typical, that's the word I meant, league, where this is the captains have a lot more say. They get to pick the players, basically. Okay, so Team Alo, or the gold team, is going to be led by Jocelyn Alo, obviously. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. But, oh no, wrong segment title. There we go. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, guys. Anyway, so she's an outfield powerhouse. We know that. Joining her are the outfielders Haley McClenny, Megan Wiggins, and Riley West. McClenny continues to demonstrate her world-class abilities from her collegiate days at the University of Alabama to her significant contributions on the international stage, including a silver medal at the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. Megan Wiggins, a seasoned professional with a decorated career across various teams, including the Chicago Bandits and USSSA Pride, brings her robust hitting and speed. Riley West, the promising newcomer, impresses with her adaptable skills and solid batting performance. The pitching lineup for Team Alo features Taylor McQuillan, Maddie Penta, Adesi Alexander, and Hope Trotwin. Ooh. There we go. Oh my goodness, my slideshow thing was not working once again. It was making me very upset. Okay, so McQuillan, with a solid experience from the University of Arizona to international competitions, controls the game with her striking abilities. Penta, emerging from Auburn University, continues to develop her diverse pitching skills. Alexander, known for her dynamic presence from James Madison University's NCAA tournament run, brings strategic pitching to the professional arena. And then Trotwin, celebrated for a perfect game at the University of North Texas, dominates with her precision and variety of pitches. Handling catching duties are Jordan Rudley and Jordan Roberts. I think it's funny that both of them are named Jordan, just spelled differently. Anyway, okay, so Rodley is a Northwestern University alum. She excels behind the plate with her defensive prowess and strong batting. Jordan Roberts, known for her robust offensive capabilities and strategic game management from the University of Florida, completes the strong catching duo. These are probably the best duo that we'll see in catching, although one other team has a trio. I'm pretty sure if I'm remembering that correctly from what I wrote, but I think this is literally like the strongest duo in the league right now are these two catchers, like in catching, and yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so the infield is fortified by Tori Vandellas, Bailey Clenley, Sydney McKinney, and Andrea Filler. Vidal is a powerhouse from Texas A&M, contributes her exceptional hitting and leadership. Clenley, a recent stand-up from the University of Washington, showcases her power hitting and strong defensive skills. McKinney, known for her high batting average and defensive agility from Wichita State University, anchors the infield. And then Andrea Filler, versatile and skilled, brings international experience and a solid batting record. So now let's dive into the composition of Team Edwards for the second series of the 2024 Athletes Unlimited Pro Softball AUX. I love the title of this league. I think it's so fun. So leading the team are captain and star pitcher Taylor Edwards, who impressively collected 480 leaderboard points in the first series, positions herself in the forefront, like I said. Joining her in the catching role is Haley Lee, who has built a notable reputation from her stellar career at Texas A&M University. Lee's robust hitting and exceptional defensive skills have made her a critical asset, consistently delivering power hits and expertly managing pitchers behind the plate. Transitioning seamlessly into professional softball, Lee has continued to shine, contributing home runs and RBIs, while excelling in controlling the game dynamics from her defensive stronghold. Throughout the season, her pivotal hits and crucial moments and leadership qualities have further solidified her status as a premier catcher. The pitching staff boasts a formidable lineup with Montana Fouts, Mariah Mazan, Alyssa Denham, and Alex Sirocco. Montana Fouts, celebrated for her precise control and powerful pitching during her tenure at the University of Alabama, continues to dominate professionally, maintaining a low ERA and delivering key strikeouts. Mazan, known for her dual threat capabilities from Oregon State University, adeptly mixes pitching to confound bounders and skillfully navigates through challenging situations. Denham brings her commanding presence and tactical approach from the University of Arizona, focusing on movement and control to outsmart hitters. And then lastly, Alex Sirocco from the University of Michigan stands out with her high strikeout rates and ability to close games under pressure, thanks to her aggressive pitching style and meticulous command. The outfield is anchored by Bubba Nichols, Morgan Zirkler, and Jadalyn Alchin. Bubba Nichols, a UCLA alumna, continues to impress with her all-around skills, contributing significantly both at bat and in the field. Morgan Zirkle's exceptional speed and agility honed at Marshall University make her a defensive powerhouse and a threat on the bases. And then Alchin, bringing her powers from the University of Washington, excels with her blend of speed and hitting capability, playing a crucial role in the team's outfit strategy. On the infield, the team features Hannah Flippen, Erin Caulfield, Carly Spade, Kelsey Stewart, and Delaney Wiss. Hannah Flippen from the University of Utah consistently showcases her ability to get on base and execute defensively, making her a key player in the lineup. Erin Caulfield emerges as a powerful force at shortstop, known for her clutch hitting and solid defensive plays. Carly Spade adds dynamics and versatility, enhancing the team's infield flexibility. And Kelsey Stewart, noted for her speed and defensive acumen at the University of Florida, impacts games with her quick reflexes and strategic batting. Lastly, Delaney Wiss from UCLA continues to deliver powerful RBIs and maintain reliability at first base, contributing significantly to the team's offensive and defensive alignment. The ensemble of talent under Edwards' leadership is poised for a compelling performance in the upcoming series, showcasing a blend of seasoned expertise and emerging talent in professional softball. I think this team is totally stacked. I do think that Alo's team is more stacked, low-key, but that's because of Alo's team. And, if you have Alo on your team, you're at an advantage right there, low-key. So let's spotlight Team Clark, led by McKenzie Clark, who shines as a star outfielder for the series. Joining her in the outfield are Kaylee Harding and Morgan DeBoard, each bringing unique strengths to the team. Harding, known for her robust performance at Florida State University, has consistently demonstrated her ability to deliver powerful hits and play stellar defense. Her skill in clutch situations, combined with her strong arm and adept batting, make her a formidable presence on the field as well. And then DeBoard, a standout from Bowling Green State University, is celebrated for her exceptional speed and expansive coverage in the outfield. Her agility at the top of the lineup helps her create scoring opportunities and challenge opposing defenses effectively. Her ability to use the whole field and capitalize on her speed has made her a significant offensive and defensive asset in professional play. The infield is anchored by Aubrey Leach, Jesse Warren, Billy Andrews, Nadia Taylor, and Sam Fisher, each contributing distinct talents to the team for sure. Aubrey Leach, renowned for her dynamic play at the University of Tennessee, continues to leverage her exceptional speed and on-base skills to pressure defenses and score runs. Her adept base running and defensive acumen make her an invaluable player. And then Jesse Warren, a key player from Florida State University's NCAA championship team, has transitioned her powerful hitting and reliable third base defense into the professional league. Warren's ability to deliver impactful hits and her defensive stability have been critical to her team's success. Billy Andrews, who emerged as a talented shortstop from the University of Nebraska, combines her power hitting with agile fielding to significantly bolster her team's lineup. Andrews' knack for making spectacular defensive plays and delivering key offensive hits continues to shine in her professional career. Nadia Taylor, a versatile player from the University of Texas, excels both at third plate and at the plate. Her Her powerful hitting and strong defensive skills have made her a pivotal player in every lineup she joins, really. I think she really is the right phrase, force to be reckoned with. I feel like that's the right phrase, but it might not be. But I just think that she's really strong and very powerful when she's out there. Like, when you have her competing against you, you're like, oh shoot, like, she's good. Like, I just feel like she kind of leads in the infielders here. And then Sam Fisher, known for her exceptional batting skills from Loyola Marymount University and her time on the U.S. national team, continues to impact games with her strategic hitting and leadership. Fisher's ability to change the course of a game with her at-bats is an essential element of professional success. The pitching staff includes Peyton Gottschall, Sarah Willis, Alicia Ocasio, and Kalani Ricketts, each bringing a different set and pitching. I'll say I think they're all very versatile pitchers. Peyton Gottschall, known for her dominant performances and high strikeout rates at Bowling Green State University, continues to excel in professional play with her precise control and variety of pitches. Sarah Willis, with her well-rounded pitching and batting skills from Penn State University, remains a dual threat in the league, effectively managing games and delivering crucial pitches. Alicia Ocasio, a standout from the University of Florida, showcases her versatility and athleticism by effectively combining pitching prowess with defensive skill, making her really an invaluable player, like all-around player. Kalani Ricketts, with her deep experience and powerful pitching from the University of Oklahoma, continues to lead with a composure and strategic precision, ensuring her team remains competitive in tight situations. Lastly, the catchers are Kayla Kowalik and Julia Cottrell, ensure stability and strategic defense behind the plate. Kowalik, from the University of Kentucky, impresses with her consistent offensive performance and strong game management skills, proving crucial in controlling the game's tempo. And then Julia Cottrell, from the University of Florida, complements her team with powerful hitting and robust defensive plays, making significant contributions to both the defensive strength and offensive momentum. Together, all these athletes on the blue team form a cohesive and formidable team under McKenzie Clark's leadership, ready to compete at the highest level in this series. Each player's unique abilities contribute to a well-rounded and competitive squad, promising exciting performance throughout the series. So that concludes our segment on the AUX Series 2 teams. And I'll make sure to update you guys on how the games are going. They did already start on games and such, so we will need to, catch up and recap all of those as well. So let me know if you all are interested in hearing about how that series is going. It is nice to hear about professional softball because softball does not get much attention after college softball is over. So, and now that, the World Series for college is over, it very much is upsetting because it's I don't want it to be over, but at the same time it has to be. That's just how that works. So yeah. It makes me happy that these still series continue because professional softball has not been very popular. So it's been going better. Anyway, so we're now going to move on to our next segment where we talk about past and current student athletes in the Olympics and Olympic trials for track and field. Before we get into that, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon. Hello guys, welcome back to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about the team rosters in the second series of the AUX, and now we are going to talk about track and field. So with the Olympic trials for track and field approaching, I wanted to spotlight some insane Olympians in track and field who competed in the Olympics that just graduated or were in college at the time of the Olympics. So just like how I think Parker Bowby will be a huge star in this year's Olympics, she is a current student athlete at the University of Florida. So basically what I will be doing in this segment is talk about past student athletes that went to the Olympics and how they did. So just as a reminder, the track and field trials will take place June 21st to the 30th in Eugene, Oregon, and I am literally counting down the days, guys. Also, guys, the diving and swimming trials are taking place right now, so I recommend checking that out and staying updated with that as well. And I did do a video yesterday doing like some updates on how the trials for swimming are going, so I recommend checking that out. And of course, I will be recapping the trials for Olympic swimming and diving as soon as they are over. Oh, I really hope that did not mess up too much of the audio, and I'm sorry if that just like blasted in your ears. So yeah, so stay tuned. Oh my goodness, I cannot speak today, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so during the 2012 Olympics, several notable female track and field athletes who were also students delivered outstanding performances. So let's start with Brigetta Barrett. She was 22 years old from the University of Arizona during the 2012 Olympics, and she captured a silver medal in the women's high jump, clearing 2.03 meters. This was a significant achievement early in her professional athletic career and during her time as an NCAA champion. English Gardner, then a 20-year-old at the University of Oregon, participated in the 4x100 meter relay preliminaries, helping the U.S. team advance to the finals. Okay, though she didn't run in the finals, the team set a world record and won gold, with Gardner sharing in the medal as a qualifying round participant, so she still was like technically in the finals, I guess. Kimberlyn Duncan, a 21-year-old from Louisiana State University, or LSU, was part of the U.S. 4x100 meter relay pool, and although she didn't race, her inclusion was a testament to her outstanding sprint performances at LSU, where she was a multiple NCAA champion. And then Gineba Tarmoy from Texas A&M University played a crucial role in the U.S. 4x100 meter relay team that won gold and set a world record, participating in the preliminary rounds to help set up the final success. These athletes not only showcased their sporting excellence, but also managed to balance their academic pursuits, representing their countries and universities with distinction. Their contributions at the 2012 Olympics had a lasting impact on both their careers and their schools, highlighting the dual commitment to sport and education that characterizes many Olympic student athletes. And I think it's also insane that there's so many student athletes in the Olympics. Like, that's so crazy to me. Like in swimming, like most of them are student athletes. You can check that out. It's super interesting. So in the 2016 Rio Olympics, Sadie Morris just graduated from the University of Arkansas and competed in the pole vault. She cleared 4.85 meters, which was a significant achievement that led to her earning a silver medal. And then Keturah Orhi was 21 years old at the 2016 Olympics from the University of Georgia. She finished fourth in the triple jump, setting an American record with a jump of 14.71 meters. I'm like losing my breath right now. This is so bad. I don't know why, but like some days I have those days where it's like super humid outside and I like cannot keep my breath. So I'm so sorry. If you can like hear me like breathing in the microphone, like little ASMR. Like, anyway, moving on. So Ori was a standout athlete at UGA, known for breaking records there and earning multiple NCAA titles. Even though she didn't medal at the Olympics, she still made her name known and set an American record. And then Corley Okolo was 22 years old during the 2016 Olympics from UT Austin. She competed in the women's 4x400 meter relay, where she won a gold medal. Her contribution in the heats helped the U.S. team advance, showcasing her strength as one of the top 400 meter runners from her collegiate competition days. At 20 years old, Raven Saunders from the University of Mississippi competed in the women's shot put, finishing fifth in her first Olympic appearance. She was known for her impressive collegiate career, clearly, securing NCAA titles and breaking records. In the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone was 21 years old and a student at the University of Kentucky. She won gold in the women's 400 meters hurdles, setting a world record at the time of 51.46 seconds. She also won gold in the women's 4x400 meter relay. She's preparing for this year's Olympics, and I have a lot of confidence in her. She never fails to impress me. I love her so much. She has been a huge runner for so long and really made herself known since she was 16 years old, competing in the 400 meter She also holds the world record in the 400-meter hurdle, still bounding over 10 of those 30-inch tall barriers in a jaw-dropping 50.68 seconds. So she hasn't improved since the previous Olympics. She is focusing on the 400-meter hurdles in this year's Olympics, and of course, I'm really happy about that, but I do wish we could see her also in the 400-meter relay, 200-meter, and 4x400-meter relay. She set a record in one of the competitions earlier this year. I can't remember what it was called, the title at the top of my head right now, which is really bad, and I'm really sorry. But she did set a record, and I did talk about it in one of my videos before. So check out my show, and maybe it's in there somewhere. So she has proven that she's a top contender also in the 200-meter dash and in other competitions, but still she wants to focus mainly on the 400-meter hurdles, and that's understandable, and I respect that. Athy Mu, another huge Olympian that will be competing this year in the trials, potentially, but I will talk more about that in a second. So Mu was 19 years old in 2020, and she was a student at Texas A&M. She won gold in the women's 800 meter, setting a new American record with a time of 1 minute 55.21 seconds. She also won gold in the women's 4x400 meter relay. Okay, as of now, she is going to be competing in the Olympic trials, but she has been marred by an injury earlier this year. So that's where the issue sort of rises. So she had to withdraw from this year's Prefontaine Classic due to left hamstring soreness. She also had entered in the 400 meter at the LA Grand Prix, but was forced to drop out just a few days beforehand. Also, oh my goodness, that is what McLaughlin Lerone was in the LA Grand Prix. No, it was a New York City LA Grand Prix. There we go. Okay, so check that video out. I recapped that in one of my shows. Okay. Back to Athy Mu, though, before dropping out of these competitions, what was I even saying? Oh my goodness, guys, I'm like losing my mind. Dropping out of these competitions for Mu was a good thing because she could recover for the Olympic trials. Like I said, she will be competing in the Olympic trials, but still it is up in the air because injuries are injuries. And if she needs to take care of herself and make sure that her body's fully able to compete and recover, I understand that. So yeah, but she still is the same amazing athlete, and I have a lot of hope and confidence in her for the trials if she does end up being there, if she is fully recovered. She won the women's 800 meter in the 2023 Prefontaine Classic, which serves as the Eugene Diamond League. Her time of 1 minute 54.97 seconds set a U.S. record and personal best at the meet. Mu's top competitors this year are Great Britain's Keely Hogginson and Kenya's Mary Mora, who won the 2023 world title in the women's 800 meter. And then other 800 meter contenders, like medal contenders, include U.S. star Raven Rogers, Ethiopia's Habanan Elemu, and Great Britain's Jim Henrique. So there's still amazing people out there that are going to be top competitors for her. We'll see. Okay, so now let's talk about student athletes that are competing in this year's trials. There are a lot, so we are going to talk about a few that have been absolute standouts. I mentioned Parker Valby before, so let's continue talking about her. Valby will compete in the 5,000 meter, and her best time in that event is 14 minutes, 52.79 seconds. She's got one of the fastest times in the heat. Eleanor St. Pierre leads the heat at 14 minutes, 34.12 seconds, and that is a pretty big difference. Valby will also compete in the 10,000 meters, and her best time is 30 minutes, 50.43 seconds. In this event, she also has one of the fastest times. Going to the trials, she is at a really good position. I think Valby has a strong chance of making it to the Olympics, and I really want her at the Olympics. Regardless of her immediate results at the 2024 Olympic trials, her athletic career is on a promising path. Hopefully, she also competes at the 2020 Olympic trials. We'll see how this year's goes. McKenzie Long, she's from the University of Mississippi, and I talked about her multiple times in my show because she's so strong in multiple events. She's competing at the 100 meters and 200 meters at the trials. Her 100 meter time is 10.91 seconds, and it's one of the fastest times. And in the 200 meters, her time is 21.83 seconds, which is the second fastest time. Her biggest competition in that event is Gabby Thomas, whose time is 21.60 seconds. To be honest, I don't think that Long will be able to beat Thomas because it's Gabby Thomas. She is one of the best runners out there and won a bronze medal at the 200 meters of the Tokyo Olympics. But still, I think it's super impressive that Long is right there with Thomas. And I think Thomas will be making it to the Olympics. I mean, I think Long will also be making it to the Olympics. Thomas is going to definitely make it to the Olympics, hands down. But I think that Long will also make it to the Olympics. Also, in the 100 meters and 200 meters, we have Ajaisa Sears. She's from the University of Tennessee and has the second fastest time in the 100 meter dash. But in the 200 meter dash, she has the slowest time, I hate using the word slowest, because these times are obviously not slow, but compared to everyone else, it is the longest time. Anyway, I think Sears will not make it to the Olympics for the 200 meters, but definitely for the 100 meters. Pretty much the opposite of McKenzie Long. Sha'Carri Richardson leads right now in the 100 meters at 10.65 seconds, and Sears' personal best is 10.77 seconds. I don't think she'll be able to beat Richardson, and low-key I don't want her to because I'm a huge fan of Richardson, and I want Richardson to finish in first. But being second to Richardson is super impressive, and I think we're going to see Sears competing at the Olympics. Next, I wanted to talk about Isabella Whittaker. She's competing in the 400 meters and is a student athlete from the University of Pennsylvania. Her personal best is 50.17 seconds in this event, and it's one of the fastest times going into the trials. The competitors I think she needs to look out for are Kanara Hayes, Gabby Thomas, Alexis Holmes, and Lania Irby. They all have really, really close times to her and are known for their times in the 400 meter dash. I don't have as much confidence that Whittaker will be able to make it to the Olympics just looking at her time compared to other people's times in this event, but still she's going to be fierce competition and has a really good chance of finishing in the top 3 in this event. You never know with track and field sometimes. There's always some super random surprises. There's little factors that will contribute to certain things. Like if there's a wind, someone could literally be like a first place contender could go down to a last place contender because of wind because they're not prepared for it. Like things like that. So I want to continue talking about how these student athletes could do in the Olympic trials, so stay tuned for tomorrow's episode because we're going to do more of a preview of these student athletes competing in the Olympic track and field trials. So that concludes our show for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast presented to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you guys once again and have a wonderful day.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn ain't